Hey, Jeremy Boone here, and I just want to take a minute and talk about our coaching mindset profile. And right now, the topic of quality coaching is getting a lot of interest as sports teams and performance facilities are preparing for their fall season and fall programs. And here's the mechanics of the coaching mindset profile that we use in the athlete mindset course. It's real simple. It's 9 basic statements. They're all positive. So again, this is just an introduction because we're not also looking at negative biases as well. But having said that, the directions and instructions are very simple. Coaching should be, and you put a 1 by the statement you most agree with, a 2 by the statement you then second most agree with, and 3rd by the statement that you least agree with, in that order. So typically coaches will say, for example, coaching should be systematic, practical, or inspirational, and they say, well, it's all 3. Well, and that's right, but we want to know, based on your value system as a coach, what's your ranked order, and that's how we measure real-time decision making. So you might say systematic, so you would put a 1 in this column. Then it might be practical would be 2, and inspirational would be 3. And you do that for each of these 9 statements. So down to the last one, good coaching increases the winning record, game efficiency, or player morale. So you might put 1 in this column, 3 in this column, and 2 in this column. And then once you're all done with these 9 statements and you've ranked them, add up the number of 1s and you're going to place them right here in each of these 3 columns. And so just the 1s. So you might have 4 in this column, 2 in this column, and 1 in this column. So these obviously then should add up to the number 9. Then once we do that, then we can look at what that coach's current pattern is and how they're making decisions and how they're communicating based on what's most important to them. Really simple tool. So let's say, for example, this is actually a true example. Last week we had a football coach that was a 9, a 0, and a 0. So if 9 being they were literally all systemic. Everything for them is black and white. It's about the game plan. Did you do what you should have? Getting results don't matter. And who is involved does not matter to this particular coach. It's either his way or the highway. Pretty tough coaching pattern to coach from in order to be a good coach. We had then another coach, the complete opposite. This was actually an international soccer coach. He was a 9 over here, a 0, and a 0. So this coach was all about feeling, and he was very much focused on the players themselves and less about the game plan. So when we ask him, how do you see improvement with your players? His response is, well, I could just see it on the field. And they have that good feeling about their improvement. Well, that's because this coach is driven more intrinsically. If we had a coach that was more about play execution, answers the how, and they're more about getting the result, making those choices and being adaptable to the game plan, they would be in this column. And so all that is actually then explained for the coaches down on the page 2. So based on the end goals that they're balanced, but whichever area that they're more dominant in, we've got a nice little explanation paragraph on how they're most likely to communicate and what's most important to them right now. At the end of the day, this is not to say whether whatever the pattern is, whether that pattern is a good pattern or a bad pattern. It's simply to identify what the pattern is, and then how can we add more meaningful qualities to that pattern? How can we improve that pattern to make and help a coach become even more effective and help get more potential out of their players?